Call of Duty Black Ops 2 Zombies is by far one of the best zombie modes of all time. Releasing in November 12th, 2012, about 12 years ago, you must be thinking now, I'm old. There was one main component that helps for its success. The free survival maps, known as Green Run, that consisted of Bus Depot, Town, and Farm. There was also Diner, but it would only be playable with the purchase of a DLC. These free maps helped spike popularity due to players not having to pay for an extra penny. Normally the reason behind this is because Call of Duty would grow into a main Christmas present for young kids at the time, and still continuing to be. This made it easier for kids to hop right in and get into the actions. Parents really would not be spending any more money on the game during this time. Besides all that, the new updated experience than the previous Zombies mode BO1 felt more alive. It had more color, which is one of the biggest improvements for a younger audience. Treyarch took on the task to create you into the game, to having the same emotions as the characters in-game. The Tranzit, or normally known as the Victus crew, made the game feel more alive. All the characters in Zombies made the game experience feel real, but focusing on Green Run, there was Sam, Misty, Martin, and Russman. On survival mode, you would be dressed up as the CDC or the CIA. Knowing these characters really would not be a part of the storyline just yet. Fun fact, they were actually in the Origins Easter egg and playable and buried.
I wish the heroes in our stories were real, Sam.
Kicking off with Bus Depot, there was Transit and Survival. Going forward, all the survival modes is on each map. Bus Depot is the smallest map of the bunch, and one box location that's outside. Spawning in the lobby with a couple of barriers, leading to a door that costs 750 points to go outside, and that's it. Lava will appear throughout the map during higher rounds. There is some hiding spots to sit with friends, but this map would be only played for high rounds, but Bus Depot was just plain. Moving on to Town, one of the best maps of all time. This is what started it for each player that was new. This or Kino, but this map was larger than ever, having an overview of an old abandoned town with lava creeping throughout the cracks throughout the map, causing you to get burned. Knowing the BO2 down system was a 2-tap, meaning zombies only had to tap you twice for you to get down. The lava would make it way harder to go to places, especially Pack-a-Punch. Yes, a Pack-a-Punch. The only map containing one besides Transit, and I'll get to that. This map would actually have 6 perks, making it way better. There was way more doors to buy with points. The point system is actually useful. Gaining points was actually a huge benefit. These bonds would make the game way more exciting, making the player having to move around to different locations. There was a unique spot for everything. The Pack-a-Punch would be placed in the center with a puddle of lava to top it off. Town became iconic due to having the most items than others and just having a good time playing for high rounds. The hours played on Town is insane. Fun fact, there is a glitch or a hack you could do on Town and Transit to having more than 4 perks. To make this possible, you have to grab 4 perks, but one had to be Tombstone. You had to get knocked and bleed out. After spawning in, your Tombstone would appear for a time limit. You would have to grab other perks that you didn't purchase. Then collecting your Tombstone, you would have more perks. Farm is around the same size of Town. There is a barn, house, and a fenced-in yard to round up zombies. Farm has the least amount of lava throughout the maps. In some perspective, this made the players feel like there was a less of a challenge, only having 4 perks and 1 mystery box spawn. It had a creepy, thick green fog to make players feel uncomfortable. Due to not having much to offer, this map would be played less. Also, the creepy landscape would scare young kids. Speaking about Town and Farm, the next game mode next to Survival is called Grief. Playing matches that consist of 2 to 8 players in 2 teams trying to outlast one another. The description is fight the undead with or against the other team, but in the end only one team survives. It was an easy concept to understand, trying to sabotage the other team. You could knife them to push, stun them while the other team is trying to revive their teammates. There is power-ups you can grab for your team, only making a new concept for zombies. This gave players a more variety than the normal round-based zombies. Diner. The mystery finally unfolds. You try to ask anyone how to play on Diner, and there is no answers. Now the truth is here. It was actually only playable if you bought the Revolution DLC. For zombies, the DLC would only have the game mode called Turn, and the only map that would consist of Turn is Diner. The mode starts out with 4 players as zombies, trying to find a cure to become human. The humans try to survive the 6-minute rounds. The zombies can kill humans to swap places. The zombies would be able to see the human through walls with a red glowing outline called zombie vision. The power-ups were actually tweaks, such as green nukes would freeze all zombies, but red nukes would empty the human's current magazine, making them reload. Finally, the long-awaited game mode, Transit. It is called a zombie story mode for players instead of a survival map. Reminding everybody, this is a free story to play as. Transit has all the 4 stops that we talked about. These 4 maps would actually show a new type of style and map, such as an open world concept. It actually had more to offer, such as a prototype knock, a cabin, and a corn maze. A new feature, buildables, finding parts scattering all over to build a couple of different items, a turbine, and a wonder weapon called the jet gun. The weapon was really not so wonderful. You could probably use it for only 6 seconds consistently just to break, having to rebuild it. Yeah, it was just not good. Besides all of that, you would spawn at Bus Depot in the lobby. Outside there was a bus waiting for you. Ted is the bus driver that takes the players throughout the stops. Ted has some questionable quotes in kicking you off the bus if you stab him too many times.
Keep fucking with me. See if I don't crash this bus and kill you all.
There is actually 4 types of enemies. Zombie being the very typical one, then napalm zombies. They were actually created by zombies walking into lava and exploding when they would die. Then Denzels. They look like little aliens chasing you. They would only appear throughout the foggy and mist locations that were between every drop-off spot. Then after completing the power, the
Avogadro
would appear throughout the rounds on Transit. He would appear and shock you while zombies were already running after you. The 6 perks would also be scattered all across the map, spawning in the same locations. There is actually multiple Easter eggs to play. There is a fridge located at the bottom of the farmhouse to store your weapon, a deposit box to drop off money at the bank at town. These would actually be accessed through different matches for your character. Having these new different items and abilities to have in this mode made it feel so much fun, even times we have raged at Transit. This experience was crazy amazing to have. This was the start of the structure for Call of Duty Zombies. This gave us more open maps and better content to play around with in the future. People might not enjoy them and say they were the worst BO2 zombie maps, but they have to agree, these maps are nostalgic for all of us. If you guys like this kind of content, let me know down in the comments below, and what was your favorite part. And I'm just kind of excited I finally put this out for you guys. Thank you guys, I appreciate whoever watched to the end, and I'll see you next time. See ya.